Hi there. Are you looking to experience more love, more peace, and more abundance in your life? Do you want to wake up each day with greater purpose and feel more fulfilled? If you are, then this is the place for you. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey. Over the past 2 decades, our open and affirming community has created a safe space for all to come and be uplifted. I hope you enjoy watching, and if you like what you see, please visit us at cslnj.org.
Spirit and I are one. 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 We are holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. We are light. Spirit and I are one. 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 We are holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. We are holy. We are holy. Holy, holy, holy light. We are light. We are light. We are light.
Yes, thank you, Robin. All right, and good morning, one and all. Welcome to a beautiful, beautiful snowy morning. And if you were part of the meditation this morning, Neil mentioned how wonderful it is on a day like this when the world has an opportunity to just simply slow down. And it gives us a chance to be present in this moment, of consciousness. And so it gives us this moment to come together for another absolutely wonderful celebration here with the Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey, where we say every week, and you feel free to repeat along with me, we are an affirming and open science of mind community where the vibration of love lifts you, the wisdom of the ages inspires you, and the science of mind teaching empowers you. We believe that heaven and hell are states of consciousness that you experience in this lifetime, and that you are the architect of your life, and that it is never too late to know true happiness. So I want to thank everyone here today. I want to thank Robin for coming along and providing us with some wonderful, wonderful music. I want to thank Reverend Neil for being our practitioner of the day, as well as doing our meditation. And I want to thank Reverend Joel for being our speaker today. And of course, Joe for helping along with the technology. And I'll thank myself for being host today. So with that, we will turn it over to Neil. Well, first Robin with our chant and Neil for our opening meditation or prayer.
Yes, one voice, one mind, one divine intelligence, knowing that I am one with all, one with that, knowing that that one voice is the voice of God, the voice of love. And I know that right here, right now, today, that this is a celebration of love, that this is what we gather for to express and experience. I know that I choose love right now. Like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. So we gather here today to support each other in our spiritual growth and in sharing the love and the kindness and supporting and spreading what we know comes from Source and that one voice, that love, that beautiful, beautiful experience of being present in the presence of this one mind. And as Ernest Holmes said, reminds us all human endeavor is an attempt to get back to first principle, to find such an inward wholeness that all sense of fear, doubt, and uncertainty vanishes. And that is what we find in that love, in that one mind. In enormous gratitude and just a complete understanding of that, I surrender these words to the love and the law, the power, the presence that makes it all possible. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Robin. And it is time for our monthly affirmation. Actually, it's our yearly affirmation this year. And it shall be posted into the chat, so you can feel free to read along with me. The audacity to awaken affirmation. I awaken today with the courage to see myself clearly and love myself wholly, as I am and as I am not. I open my heart to curiosity, trusting that every question leads me deeper into truth. I embrace conscious evolution, knowing that life is always expanding through me. I release what no longer serves and boldly claim my divine power. I am awake. I am courageous. And I am fully alive to the brilliance of my becoming.
We'll go to the peace practice, but let me just insert right here a little PSA, a little public service announcement. We make every effort we can to let everybody know when we have a shift like we've had today in terms of not being able to meet in person. And there's multiple channels that it goes out in. The WhatsApp has been very effective. We send out texts and emails through Breeze, and I know not everybody gets all of them. We have it posted on our website. If you go to cslnj.org, there's a pop-up that comes up that lets you know what's happening. So there are 4 or 5 different ways. If you ever have a doubt, send us an email to cslnorthjersey@gmail.com. Everybody has my contact information. It's on the website. It pops up here every week. You can give me a call if you want. It's never too early. I'm awake very early. I want to make sure everybody gets the message so we all end up together in order to celebrate like this. So thank you all for being here this morning. I appreciate that you had to trudge all the way on this snowy day from your bedroom to wherever your computer is. I'm very proud of all of you for being able to do that. So, yes, today's a calm day. It is beautiful. I love the fog for that reason. I love the snow for that reason. And it feels peaceful, but we know we need more peace, as we say every week, all the time. And we commit ourselves to knowing that that peace comes from deep within us and that we deliver that, we bring that to our world and our surroundings, and that our words of peace have power, and they spread. So please repeat after me. I am the peace I wish to see. I know this peace for my family. My family knows this peace for my community. My community knows this peace for my country. And my community knows this peace for the world. Well, today, since we are doing the third section, the opening section, not the third chapter, but the third section of the Science of Mind textbook, we are looking at what it does. Reverend Joel will be enlightening us, as he always does, with his words of wisdom. And today's reading comes from the very last section, the very last subsection, I should say, of the third part of the book on what it does. And it is entitled No Limit to Thought. When we think, something happens to thought. The field through which thought operates is infinite. There is no reason to doubt it. No matter how it is approached, to thought there can be no limit. So we will say that it is the nature of being to react in this way. Here and now, we are surrounded by and immersed in infinite good. How much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. And how much of it may we have to use? As much of it as we can embody in all caps. So with that, let's start embodying. And we will have Robin give us a song before Reverend Joel.
Suspend all disbelief and just dream. You might be surprised what you will see. Anything is possible, yes. Everything's right here. Anything is possible. Oh, it's perfect, it's clear. Oh, you hold your destiny in your hand. It's time you realize and take a stand, 'cause anything is possible, yes. Everything's right here. Anything is possible. It's perfect and it's clear. If you just believe, if you just believe, anything is possible. Anything is possible. So hold a vision in your heart, 'cause there's no better place for you to start. Anything is possible, yes. Everything's right here. Anything is possible. It's perfect and it's clear. If you just believe, if you If you just believe, if you just believe, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. If you just believe, pray and receive. This is what it looks like outside my window right now. It's really beautiful. And there's actually a family of deer out there, but I couldn't get them in the picture. All right, let's start. We'll start with jokes. So I've got one from Brian, our own Brian here. And the other one is from my collection of scratch off dad jokes. So, two dad jokes for you today. This is from Brian. Why do melons have big fancy weddings? Because they cantaloupe. Thought that was good. Okay, and then from the scratch off one, it says, why did the teddy bear skip dessert? It was stuffed. All right. I love humor.
Joel, can we give you real laughter back?
Yes, thank you.
Thank
Somebody at work said to me, why are you always making these stupid jokes? And I said, because a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. If you
you.
can laugh and smile, it goes right in, you know? So that's what I believe. All right, let's now get very serious. No, I'm kidding. So I want to talk this week about week 3 in the series that we're doing, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about in a moment. We've talked that each year we begin, like many, probably hundreds of centers around the country, around the world, begin the first 4 Sundays of the year reviewing the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind textbook. Um, and I'm week 3, so I'm going to get to that. But one thing that we haven't talked about, and I haven't heard many people talk about it even in the whole movement, is that the original Science of Mind came out 100 years ago this year. So the textbook that we use is the revised second edition. The first edition came out in 1926. And that's pretty remarkable if you think about it, that we're still talking about these ideas 100 years later. And I published this particular edition of it and wrote a foreword. And I try to put the book in context, not just context of how it compares to its later revised edition, but context of life itself and its place in really the movement of spirituality. So I just want to give a shout out to Ernest Holmes and to the Science of Mind for 100 years of great inspiration. And it's great. And if you haven't read the original 1926 edition, I encourage you to do it because it is different. It's the same and different at the same time. He has a whole different energy in the first edition than he did in the second one. So there's that. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. And really today is inspired by, I was trying to think, I mean, I've taught these first 4 chapters for decades, as have many of us. And I was trying to think, how do I talk about this again in a new way? And I got the answer 2 weeks ago at the center. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And the inspiration for me was Clive. Okay. Clive, you're here, right? I don't see, you're not, where are you? There you are. There's Clive. Where, as Reverend Neil has renamed him with the French pronunciation, Clive. So Clive here inspired me. And the reason he inspired me is he sang the song Imagine. Now, I have to admit, the first few strums of Imagine, my thought went to, oh my God, I have heard this song 100 million times. There are certain songs that we just hear a lot, right? That's one of them. What a Wonderful World is another one. I mean, there's just certain songs that you hear a lot. And in my head, I had a rare moment of judgment of, oh my God, not this song again. I have heard this song so many times. But Clive, was doing it and I was hearing it like anew. And I thought, oh, isn't it interesting to hear something that I've heard hundreds, maybe thousands of times in my life as if I'm hearing it for the first time? And that's in part because Clive does, I mean, he's just fantastic. And it also was in part because then I allowed myself the experience of trying to hear it for the first time again. And that's called Beginner's Mind. And I had such a great experience at that song. And I just loved it so much. Again, Clive did such a brilliant job with it. And I left and I was so high about not just the song and really the incredibly important message that it has, but also just this idea that we can take something and hear it again for the first time. So it reminded me of this book here, Joy's Way by Brew Joy. This book came out in 79. It's been around a long time. It's a classic. It used to be a big seller. I think after Brew passed away, it probably doesn't sell like it used to when he gave talks and workshops, but it's a fantastic book. And he says something in this book, chapter 1, basic concept. And he says right at the beginning, in the very first paragraph, it says that the most important basic concept that you can get is to work from the viewpoint of beginner's mind. But then he says something really interesting and important. He says in conferences, because he used to teach conferences like Barbara Streisand and all these famous people would go to his conferences and were students of his. In conferences, I usually demonstrate the phenomenon of the beginner's mind with the playing of a musical composition. It's usually fairly easy to find a record, remember records, to find a record that is unknown to most and perhaps all of the conference participants. And then he gives some examples like Dvorak's The Golden Spinning Wheel or Vivaldi's Gloria. And then he gives some others. So he takes a piece of music that the participants have not heard. And then he says, when I play one of these pieces for the first time, conference participants find it captivating and exciting, and as I said, usually unfamiliar. If I play it a second time, they may hear most of it, but they are already beginning to anticipate the good parts and to exclude the other parts from their listening awareness. At intervals, their minds begin to drift. If I play it immediately for a third time, most of them are bored with it. Of what it is presented to the ear, they hear about half or even less. Psychologists call this process habituation, and it is the very aspect of human consciousness that the beginner's mind attempts to overcome. Habituation is the very thing that beginner's mind helps us to overcome. Whatever its mechanism may be, habituation's effect is a filtering of our awareness. Then, he says, when I conduct this habituation experiment with a conference group, I ask the participants, after each playing of the selection, to express what they experienced. After the first experience, or at first listening, they experience that they report liking or disliking the music, and they describe the images that appeared to them or the sensations that they felt. At this point, I have not yet told them about beginner's mind. When I repeat the selection for a second and third time, most people become a little resentful that I am belaboring the obvious point about just listening to the music. But then I present the idea, the concept of beginner's mind to them. And I explain habituation and the filters of consciousness. And then I play that identical piece of music for a fourth time. This is what's cool. Most of them report afterward, now knowing that this is a lesson in beginner's mind. After the fourth time, they report afterward hearing not only sounds of exquisite subtlety, but also passages and instruments they did not remember having heard even on the first listening. The music becomes multi-dimensional, freshly experienced, and more fully appreciated than even when they listen to it for the first time. With respect to this one piece of music on this one occasion, we have bypassed the habituation filters. And then he says the initial task in awakening is to begin to ask whether there is more to experience in any given moment, then to conceive that there may be more, then to experience the more, and then when it's experienced, to conceive that there may be even more. And thus begins the cycle of beginner's mind indefinitely. That is a mind-blowing piece of literature, because I love that the first time they heard the music, they're like, okay, got it. Second time, it's like, and they're kind of in and out of it. By the third time, the habituation comes in and they blank out. And he reports that some of them are even resentful having had to listen to a piece of music 3 times in a row. But when they know that this is a lesson in beginner's mind, their awareness perks back up and they hear more than they ever did before. So I want to invite us to have that beginner's mind attitude for these 4 lessons, that we listen to them, because as many times as I've taught these, and Reverend Michelle and Reverend Neil and Tony have taught these, you have heard them all this many times as well. So you get to listen to them with beginner's mind. What new, fresh ideas in these first 4 chapters can you get? Now, as we do this and we look freshly at the basics of the science of mind, which is what the first 4 chapters are, we can ask ourselves the question that he said to ask in the book, which is there more for me to conceive and experience here? So let me just tell you this. The first 4 chapters, the basics, are the thing itself, how it works, what it does, how to use it. Here's the secret. They all are the same chapter, just repeated 4 different times. Just like in that Joy's Way example. He basically repeats it 4 different times. And he covers all the basics of the science of mind in the first 4 chapters 4 different times. And I always like to teach the science of mind in a nutshell, which is the five steps of science of mind to get. So when people ask you, hey, what do you guys believe? You can say, oh, well, we believe 5 main things. And they correspond with the number of the number. 1, the first thing we teach is oneness. There is only one. There is not good and evil, because there can't be good and evil when you think about it. There can't be a God and a Satan. There can't be all of this. There can only be one power that is used and expressed in different ways, but there is just oneness. 2, that oneness is expressed as love and law. Love is the personal creator that creates all of its creations in its image, and law is how it is done. How does law do it? Through 3, the creative process, which is 3 steps: seed, soil, plant. Thought, goes into the mind and becomes reality. And for the universe, life itself is for you because it is for God, and it can only do for you what it can do through you forever. And how do we do it? The 5 steps of spiritual mind treatment. So that is science of mind in a nutshell. And you are going to find, if you embody that, you're going to see those 5 things are repeated in each of the first 4 chapters, including this. So those 5 encompass all the basics. They're all represented. Now we're in week 3, which is what it does. And week 3 in the textbook is 11 pages. That's all. And it's only 44 paragraphs. It's not a long chapter. It's a very short chapter. And in this chapter, you're going to find those very things that I talked about. I actually took down every main point of the 44 paragraphs, and I'm just going to tell you what it says. He says, everything is infinite intelligent. It's all potential. Everything is pure infinite potential. And this potential is impersonal. There are no favorites. He says the same sun shines the same light on all people. And he says the nature of the universe is to give what we are able to take, but it cannot give us more than we can take. And it says, the chapter says that we have access to this power everywhere at all times, in all places. And he says, we are always using this law of love and law. We are always using it, but we must learn to use the law consciously. And he says, love and law. Love points the way. Law is the process that makes it possible. We can always access it. He says, one state of consciousness will produce one result, while a different state of consciousness produces a different result or manifestation for us. There is one power, but there are infinite manifestations that one power can manifest. He says, don't complicate things. Simplicity is a superpower. Simplicity should mark every effort, and positivity should accompany all statements that we make into the law of good. How do we do this? Treatment. And he says, treatment is a statement in the law. It's a concrete idea of unqualified faith. And then he says this interesting statement, which is trained thought is more powerful than untrained thought. How do we train our thought? Through treatment, which is active and constructive. And then he gives this great example of taking iron pellets, heating them into liquid and pouring them into molds. The liquid iron doesn't care what mold it's poured into, and it becomes anything that it is poured into. That's our thoughts. Our thoughts don't care where it's poured into. We are the ones that produce the mold that our thoughts go into. He says the study is a science. It's provable. And he says that hope is better than despair, but certainty is better than hope. Now, if you were paying attention to that summary, what you notice is that he talked about, infinite oneness, the oneness, and that it's expressed as love and law. That's chapter 1, the thing itself. And he talked about the creative process, which is the way it works. And then he talked about spiritual mind treatment, which is next week, how to use it. So the thing itself, chapter 1, the way it works, chapter 2, and the how to use it, chapter 4. But we're in week 3, which is what it does. What it does. That's a little bit different. And nowhere in there does he says, here is what it does specifically. However, what I did is I went through it, and as you saw, I went through it literally paragraph by paragraph, and I thought, beginner's mind, what do I need to see here? What is he trying to say here? And the thing he repeats more than anything else in the chapter is the idea that we can embody the very thing that life is always trying to give us. I think I counted 16 or 17 times across 11 pages. He repeats this idea that life is here to express itself in infinite ways, and we are the ones that control the way that we experience it. He says that over and over and over in this chapter. What it does, it offers itself. Life offers itself to us as us so that it can experience itself through us. That's amazing. And when we just take time to even just talk about step one, oneness, and really fully understand that idea of what oneness is and how complete oneness can be for us, should we just allow ourselves to understand it and to have beginner's mind about it, it will bring tears, well, brings tears to my eyes. Here's an example of what he means by this thing, that it offers itself and we can experience it as much as we can embody. Think of a library. It can be any library, truthfully. There's a new little library in a town near us, or it can be that wonderful big New York library right at Bryant Park, or any library. But think of a library. When you think of a library, the first thing, if I were to ask 100 people in the street, what do you think about when you think about libraries? They would probably say checking out books to read. Okay. And if that's all you use the library for, then that's all you're going to get from the library. But library doesn't offer just books to check out. They offer ebooks. Most libraries offer audiobooks. They also offer Braille books. They offer, many of them offer things like movies and music. They offer media, newspapers and magazines, but not just current. Basically, all of it that is recorded, you can access through a library. They offer media archives. They offer children's sections and children's books on every topic and every level. They have children's programs. They have resources at libraries that things like they will research things for you. If you go in and say, I need to know about such and such, they can research it for you. Most libraries have things like lectures or classes, whether in person or available online. Many libraries offer things like job searches. Did you know that? And a lot of libraries offer things like printing services, etc. Libraries these days offer computers, and not only just computers that you can use, but also Wi-Fi, so you can do that. But they also offer a way for you to connect either from your computer or their computers. You can connect with libraries and educational organizations and resources literally all around the world, just from the library. So you can go into a library and check out a book and read it and return it and just do that a few times. Or you can treat it like a brain that has virtually unlimited knowledge and resources that you can access and change your life completely. Same library, but how you use it and what you access is up to you. That's a small example of what life is, what he's trying to say in the chapter of what it does. Life has everything that it is offering to you as much as you want to take. Do you really just want to take out one little book? Or do you want to experience the allness and fullness of life itself, the creative power that created you, that created all the stars and everything is here for you to use? And we have this thing called habituation, which says, yeah, I know, but I'm stuck in these patterns. And the answer to habituation, the answer to how to get more of what it does, week 3, is beginner's mind. The very first words or in a paragraph in beginner's mind, he says, it will help for you to work from beginner's mind. Why? Because in beginner's mind, nothing has ever happened before. When we are in habituation, we are in that sense of, well, I don't see how something can happen, so therefore it cannot happen. But beginner's mind takes away that and says, I don't know what's possible. I don't know what is available. And so I'm open to all of it. Life, express yourself through me and show me, guide me, help me, teach me so that I can experience more of you as me in me. That's everything. What it does is offer us everything using the creative process so that we might have the greatest experience here that we can have. When we have beginner's mind, then anything and everything becomes the doorway to our awareness. He says on page 47, he says, let us waste no further time looking for the secret of success or the key to happiness. Already the door is open, and whosoever will may enter. That's what it does. Let's embody this. Let's take this into treatment. And I'm going to read a treatment actually from the textbook itself. This is on page 556. The gifts of God are mine today. And I'm going to change the words a little bit because he uses father and he throughout this. And I want to change it just a little bit to be more inclusive. But just allow yourself to hear these words. Maybe close your eyes and hear them with that beginner's mind. The beginner's mind that, as in Joy's way, heard suddenly instruments and movements and all of that they didn't even hear the very first time. Ah, the gifts of God are mine today. It is life's good pleasure to give me the kingdom of heaven or harmony and abundance. Today, life opens to me the blessings of its infinite and eternal treasure, inviting me to dip deeply into it. As I and we believe in our hearts, so it is done unto us in all things. As we ask, so do we receive a full measure unto our faith, pressed down and running over. These and other divine promises and assurances sing in each one of us. The still small voice within us reminds us that all that life has is ours. This day, we listen deeply with a beginner's mind to that still small voice, and we believe its promises. We fear nothing, neither lack, limitation, disappointment, nor distress of any kind, for is not life always with me? What might have caused the appearance of any lack in our lives? Simply fear or the belief that life could forsake me. We do not believe that now, and it no longer matters what the appearance of in our lives today or what has gone on before, because today is new and we have beginner's mind and are newly awakened in it. And we believe with dauntless faith that our good in full measure comes to us from life today. And speaking for all of us, I now believe that it is indeed life's good pleasure to give us of its bounty. I know that life gives as we ask without question or limit. and we are ready to receive all that life has to offer. We embody it right here and right now. And together we say, and so it is.
Please read along in our abundance blessing with me. I bless this gift that I give today. I give this gift from my heart, and I give it mindfully. May my gift go further to heal, prosper, and bless this center and all who enter. I accept all good that comes as a result of this flow, knowing that it returns to me, multiply abundantly. And so it is. All right. And we have some announcements, some opportunities for you. This is the third Sunday. So Reverend Neil, I believe or Joe, whoever is posting, we have the outreach collection. And let's see here, and you can text to that. Our outreach, of course, benefits those outside of our center, those who are in need, because we know that there are many in need. So please feel free to make an additional donation to that. We have this thing called You, a book discussion group that has gone so well that Reverend Neil is already looking for the next Saturday morning discussion group book. If you'd like more information or you've had a good idea for a book, talk to Reverend Neil or email him at cslnorthjersey@gmail.com.
Hey, Brian, I just want to add to that we're halfway through with the 4 Saturdays, but you can still join because each discussion is just wonderful, about the topics that are in the book. So you don't have to have been at those previous ones in order to feel like, you can be part of the conversations. And they've been fantastic conversations. They really have. So everybody's still welcome.
Hop right in. Join along. All right. When Love Listens, Healing Happens. Wednesday, January 21st, 7:30 on Zoom. That is a free program. When fear drowns out faith, what do? You find a safe place to hunker down. CSL North Jersey in facilitating a listening session. This is a place where you can lay down the burdens of your mind and heart in order to step out of the confines of fear, loosen the hold of what's grabbed your attention, and begin to breathe easy again. So you can register for just for communication purposes, and there's a link to that. The Art of Mastery with Reverend Eugene Holden will offer a new class based on the book, The Big Leap. We did that a few years ago. The Art of Mastery is about eliminating those parts of us that have, up until now, kept us in the zone of mediocrity. This class fits right in with our theme this year of the audacity to awaken. It is a 6-week class that is Mondays from 7 to 9 Eastern Time. The book required is The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, and you can register with the link that is provided to you. And don't forget, next week we are in person and, of course, on Zoom, and it is going to be, after the celebration, our annual meeting. As we close out 2025, we look forward to what 2026 will be for us as individuals and the CSL&J community. As we have done for many years, our annual meeting will be held, like I said, on January 25th after our celebration. And now is the time that we welcome new interest in serving on our leadership council and many other areas. So please look to your heart and see what you might be able to do to support and serve our community. And if you have further questions on that, you can ask Reverend Neil or any other leadership council member. That includes Andrew Palmer, Joe Schneider, Edna Davey, Ty Stevens, Giovanna Kenu, or Jessa Nichols. And that is the conclusion of our announcements. And so we will have a closing song by Robin.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. Love gives me everything I need. Joy gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
For Spiritual Living North Jersey, we believe in empowering individuals to discover their inner strength and their connection to divine life. Through our supportive community, transformative workshops, and uplifting services, we provide a safe space for personal growth and spiritual exploration. Whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or a deeper understanding of life's mysteries, our center offers practical tools and timeless wisdom to help you thrive. Join us in creating a more diverse, compassionate, and kind world. Your world, the way you want to create it.